name is Gail Hamilton. I'm the CRA Director for the City of Kissimmee. The City of Kissimmee CRA District, and I put my website up there. All of the grants and all of our information is posted on the KissimmeeCRA.org website. I usually make copies of the grants and the programs and all that, and then I end up taking half of them home. So if you want to download them, you have questions, you can give me a call. This is the Kissimmee CRA District. It's about 750 acres in the historic downtown. It borders the lakefront, the 192 corridor, John Young, and Oak Street. So when I came to Kissimmee, there wasn't anything happening in the CRA. Historic downtown, 85% of the buildings were owned by third generation Floridians or Kissimmeans. They opened that door, and they had businesses, but they opened those business doors every morning, not because they were profitable, not because they enjoyed what they were doing, they didn't know what else to do. And so the CRA at the time was bringing in about $300,000 a year in tip out of 750 acres. So we were trying to get something going. The CRA in Kissimmee is a separate body from the City Commission. I have a 7-member board that is appointed by the City Commission. And they are residents, they meet the Chapter 163. What we were trying to do is create some kind of buzz, something going on, but we didn't really know what to do. So we created an advisory board to the CRA of businessmen from all over, businesswomen as well, from all over the county. We asked bankers, business people, real estate people, and we got a group of people, about 12 core members, and we met once a month at lunch and talked about what is it that we want, what can we do, how can we incentivize it, and make it simple and easy, because if it's not simple and easy, the business owners and property owners in my town are not going to use it. And we created a set of commercial grants, small grants that worked 5 separate grants because they wanted to do it in pieces, because these are reimbursable grants. You have to spend the money and then we'll reimburse you. So we did them in parts. There's a facade grant, a sign grant, a rehab grant. These buildings are historic, they're old, the wiring is bad, the plumbing is bad, so we included rehab grants. Well, one of the things that we came out of our discussion was if we just had restaurants. We have at the time we had 2 restaurants, Mrs. Mack's and Joni's. And they closed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that was it. We rolled the sidewalks up. We needed to have grease traps. Any new business or restaurant needed a grease trap, according to our water authority. So we did the revitalization grant to allow money for a grease trap. Water and sewer impact fees. Water and sewer impact fees were the largest issue in getting new businesses in the downtown. So we looked at those grants, started those. We also created what we called a developer incentive grant. It was on a case-by-case basis. If you had a great project with a great business going in it, we would look at doing individual, on a case-by-case basis, incentive. And then our CDBG. This was our first project. This is the Lewis Music Building. We hired the architect that worked on the facades to try and, we didn't want to leave it up to them. We needed some really high impact, so we went from this to this. And you notice that we had this awning in front. We had to it had to be handicap accessible. The building wasn't handicap accessible. So we had to build this ramp, and then we had to make it look nice. So a lot of our money was spent on handicap accessibility. Bathrooms had to be handicap accessible. in downtown. Third generation, actually this is fourth generation, but they wanted to do something with the building, and he wanted to open a restaurant. We worked with them, and the CRA paid to replace or to restore the original windows in the building. It was $60,000. We also did the water and sewer impact fee on the pizza and wine bar. For the restaurant, the water and sewer impact fees were $70,000. We pay half of it up front and give them 5 years to pay the other half. This is the old Gould's Western Wear. And that was done completely with our small matching grants, which comes up to be about $22,000. In the past 9 years, we've done 470 grants totaling a giveaway of $1.7 million, just over. The reinvestment in the community has been $8.5 million. Our large-scale development. Well, we had some success. We had some success. And so we had a local developer that wanted to do a mixed-use development. This was the site in downtown, right on Broadway, our main corner. Charlie had come through and destroyed one of the buildings, that building. The CRA bought the land and held it while the developer got his financing. This was the concept plan. This is it during construction. This is completion. Out of it, we got 9 restaurants, renovation to the downtown, a new political attitude. Things were happening. It made the city go ahead and bond, or they haven't bonded, put aside money for the lakefront park development. The CRA did a streetscape. Well, then we decided that we had something going on with the businesses, but we really didn't have enough residential. Residential was our issue. So we came up with residential because we were trying to get people to live in the district and use these new businesses. Matching facade, matching rehab, outside windows, awnings, doors, woodwork, anything. If you don't know what you want to do, we'll pay $500 for you to hire a consultant to help you plan out your project. But we also needed people to live in the district. So we came up with a Live Where You Work grant. If you work in the downtown or in the CRA district and you want to live in the district, we'll pay you $10,000 when you buy a house. No strings, you buy it, you work in the CRA district, and we'll give you $10,000 for doing it. If you buy one of the houses that are zoned to convert to offices, which is a big problem for us, we'll pay you $10,000 to live in that house. If you'll rezone it back to residential from R2, office conversion. Those are the neighborhoods. Some of the rehabs that we've done in the neighborhood. This was the house. That's what it looks like now. These are that just use the small vacuum. Our UCF Youth Fair. It is an interlocal agreement between the CRA, the city, and the county for 8,000 square feet of rental space. The CRA is paying a one-time build-out cost of $183,000. The city will provide up to $135,000 per year, and the county pays $135,000 a year for staff. This is Broadway. This is the roadway improvements for Broadway that have come from the redevelopment of the buildings. Our lakefront park project. Pictures of the park. We also do historic preservation. The CRA bought this building. We had to tarp it after the last storm. That's what it's going to look like going through. The CRA restored this old gas station, and we do small business incubators. Brex Cookies was there for 4 years. They are now in a building downtown. And commuter rail is on its way to the city. That's all I have. Questions?
Can you elaborate on the large project you were talking about, or
I'm sorry. The CRA put $4.2 million in it. We built the parking garage. We held the land, and then we did we put up money to help them close the gap on funding and paid for the parking garage. There's 296 spaces in the parking garage.
was that in form of grant or loan or combination?
It was grant.
And how much did it develop?
20 million. Yes, sir.
Gail, with the about $1.7 million that you had in those grants, you came up with about 8.75 that was basically leveraged, I assume, as investment.
Mm-hmm.
Is that direct investments that were a part of those facade improvements, or did you include other numbers?
No, it is. We track what they do with the project because it is a reimbursable grant, and we check it by the building permits, and it's the amount that they spent. We incentivized it by $5,000, and they spent $100,000.
Okay, good. Thank you.
68,000. Yes, ma'am.
The buildings are for preservation, you have an end-use plan.
The Historical Society is going to use the bottom floor as a house museum, and the CRA is losing their building to the park development, and we'll be on the second floor. I'm really excited about it. Yes, sir.
What's your revenue and how many years left you have here?
We have 17 years left, and we are going to ask for an extension. We're in the middle of, or we're just starting our update of our plan. And yeah, we have 17 years, and our increment is about 1.4 million
You've got an incredible amount.
in 9 years. And currently the CRA has no foreclosed properties and no short sales. So,
How do you budget for all your different programs? Is it just one big line item?
when we started, we didn't have any money at all. The city put up the $100,000, and we used that as a loan pool. Now we're at $250,000.
Is it, have you had enough money to fund all the requests, or do you have?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
The parking garage is a lot, is that where you got the $4 million from?
We did a line of credit. All righty. Thank you.